Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're doing a full spoiler-heavy deep dive into False Gods, the book where the Horus Heresy truly begins. This is the moment the galaxy's greatest hero is shattered, twisted, and reforged into the Warmaster of Chaos. The turning point of False Gods begins with the infamous mission to Davin. Horus, still recovering from the events of murder and the fallout from the interlegion tensions, receives word of a rebellion orchestrated by former Imperial commander Eugen Temba. But here's the key. The entire situation is engineered. Erebus and the word-bearers set the trap perfectly. Horus lands on Davin believing he's stamping out a mutiny, only to find a rotting, plague-ridden moon crawling with Nurgle corruption. This is where McNeill begins pushing the tone from heroic sci-fi into deep cosmic horror. And then it happens. The moment that changes everything. Horus is mortally wounded by the blade of the anathema, a chaos weapon crafted specifically to wound him and only him. This is the blow that lands the Warmaster in the hands of the Serpent Lodge and directly onto the path of his damnation. With Horus dying, the Lunar Wolves panic. The Mournival is split. Loken and Torgadon are horrified. Abaddon and Aximand, desperate, turn to the Davinite Lodge, led by Erebus, who is smiling throughout this entire disaster. They enter Horus into a ritual called the Spirit Walk, a metaphysical journey meant to save his soul. But this is the cruel genius of the book. The ritual doesn't save Horus. It sets the stage for the Chaos Gods to rewrite him. Inside this dream realm, Horus is confronted with visions of the Imperium's future tyranny, a broken galaxy of oppression, genocide, and madness, a version of the Emperor who appears cold, uncaring, and authoritarian, and the word-bearers manipulating him at every turn. They show a twisted truth, a possible future, not necessarily the inevitable one. But Horus, proud and betrayed, believes it. Horus's fall is not about chaos overpowering him. It's about chaos weaponizing his ego, wounds, and disillusionment. Once the ritual ends, Horus wakes, healed, strong, renewed, but not the same. His first actions foreshadow his doom. He distances himself from Loken. He tightens his grip on the Legion. He embraces the Warrior Lodge structure. He begins planning in secret with Erebus. And most importantly, Horus now believes that the Emperor intends to abandon him. Chaos didn't need to enslave him. It only needed him to think the Emperor had already betrayed him. This is the tragedy. Horus thinks he's doing the right thing. The internal politics within the Lunar Wolves are some of the best parts of the book. Garviel Loken, the moral heart of the Legion, begins to see that something is deeply wrong. Aximand, little Horus, shifts uneasily but wants to believe in his Warmaster. Abaddon commits fully to Horus's new vision, becoming one of the first true traitor warlords. The Mournival, once a unified council of trusted advisors, becomes a battlefield of loyalty versus truth. One of the most chilling scenes is when Horus tests Loken's loyalty, pushing him to accept the Lodge and the new order forming within the Legion. Loken resists, and from that moment, his fate is sealed. The seeds of the eventual Istvan III betrayal are planted right here. Throughout False Gods, the Chaos Gods are never portrayed as cartoon villains. They're subtle, seductive, manipulative. They exploit Horus's fear of being replaced by Rogel Dawn. They show him fragmented visions of the future. They prey on his sense of betrayal. They use Erebus as their perfect agent. And they offer power not as a gift, but as a necessary tool. By the time the book ends, Horus stands fully committed to rebellion, though he frames it as salvation. He begins purging loyalist elements from his own legion. He starts rewriting the Imperium's future in his own image, and the galaxy begins sliding towards the greatest civil war in its history. False Gods is the point of no return. It's the fall of a hero, not with a sudden collapse, but with temptation, manipulation, and ultimately a choice made in pride and pain. If you want more deep dives into the Horus Heresy, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me which book I should break down next. And remember, sometimes a single wound can shatter an entire galaxy.